Yeah, so welcome back to another tutorial. So today's video we're going to deal with this engine. This is a gearbox, as you're seeing. So this is a gearbox of a vehicle. So what you're going to deal is we are going to cut these threads, because inside here these are stunted threads, these ones, and also we are going to deal also with these ones. Also here they are started threads bolt for number 12. So this is the bolt for number 12. So we are going to deal with this bolt for number 12, and also this is the bolt for number 14. So these two holes are stunted, so we are going to deal with them. So first of all, we are going to first drill inside with a 10mm drilling bit to remove the remaining area, the remaining stunted threads. We're going to drill in using this 10mm drilling bit, so to remove these stunted threads. Have to remove the dust. So we are going to tap inside using 12 times 25. So we are going to use this 12 times 25. So let's drill in with a 8.5mm drilling bit to remove the stunted threads in another hole. So this hole is of 12mm, so 12 bolt. So that is 8mm. So let's use 10. We are going to use 10 times 125 to cut the threads of our iridium coil, where we are going to tie our iridium coil. So using a T-handle, so you should keep yourself in a straight line, not to cut the threads when they are bent. Always put that in your mind when working with studs and dies. We have finished cuts where we are going to tie our iridium coil. So let's work on the iridium coils. So this is a pipe of 12mm. So we are going to use a die of 12 times 125. So we're going to use a die of 12 times 25 to cut our iridium coil. Also, we are going to cut another iridium coil of 10mm. Let's put a starting point. So we are going to use a die of 10 times 1.5. So you have to also to be in a straight line when cutting the iridium coil. So we have finished to cut our iridium coils.
So we are going to tie them inside with the help of a spark glue. So this spark glue tightens the iridium coil inside. So let's tie our iridium coils. Let us first tie in the iridium coil of 10 times 1.5 in our hole of the original bolt of 12 millimeter of 12 spanner, that is 8 times 125 millimeters. So with the help of a spark glue you have to put in either side. So let's also turn and we tie another iridium coil where we cut 12 times 125. So let's tie in the pipe. So also here we have to use the help of a spark glue to tighten the iridium coil inside. So let's remove the excessive iridium part which has remained on top. So after that we'll let us drill in with 8 times 80.5 millimeter drilling bit. So then after that let's also turn into the other hole where we tied the iridium coil of 10 millimeters 1.5 and we drill in with 6 times 6.5 millimeter drilling bit, because on the drill on the tap they recommend us to drill in with 6.5 millimeters. So we are going to tap inside with 8 times 125. So this is the original bolt of 8 millimeters with a pitch of 25. So if you try to look on this tab, they tell us to drill with 6.5. So to make sure that you in a straight line, you have to put in the tap and to measure the pitch. So you have to tie the tap in the original bolt or where the threads are good, so to see whether it's the same size or the same pitch. So we have finished to confirm that is the same pitch. So let's tap inside our into our iridium coils with 8 times 125 millimeter tap.
So now we have finished cut the threads. So this is the bolt we're going to try.
So let's also turn and we work on this hole. So remember that there are two holes. This is a hole where we put the iridium coil of 12 times 125. So we are going to use a tap of 10 times 125. So these are the taps of 14 volt. That is 10 times 125. We are going to tap them inside. So this is the original bolt. If you try to measure the pitch, is the same. So let's try and prove that. So we are going to tie them in this hole. So using these taps, let's use the first one. So keep in mind to be in a straight line.
So you should keep yourself in a straight line.
So let's measure and we see whether we are in a straight line. So you have to put a tap in a good hole, and also put our a bolt. So as you try to measure, you look in all angles as you are saying, so that you are in a straight line. So now we are in a straight line. So let's tap using a T handle, because the cross handle cannot tap, it may knock the bolt.
What they call a T handle.
So this is what I call artist handle.
Don't forget to use the oil, so to make the tap not to get exhausted and to make the work a bit smooth, not to put a lot of energy when you are cutting the threads. So now we have finished to cut the threads, so let's test with the original bolt inside as you were seeing. So the threads are good and fine, so it's time for testing. As you are seeing now, the bolt is tying well. Let's use a spanner.
I say now the threads okay. Even this one, even also the threads are so good. For this one, before we leave, let me explain a little bit. So for the first time, I drilled in using a 10mm drilling bit. So this is a 10mm drilling bit here first, because we are dealing with a thread to remove the started thread.
So after drilling inside, we cut the threads using a tap of 12 times 25. So after that, we used also a die of 12 times 25 to cut the outer threads of the irium coil we tied inside. After that, we also drilled in with 8.5 drilling bit inside, so that we can tap with a 10 times 125 inside to cut the threads of 14 bolt. So for this side also, what we did, we drilled in with 8.5 drilling bit, remove the stunted threads. So after drilling inside, so we tapped with 10 times 25 inside, so that we can tie in the irium coil. Also the irium coil, we used a die of 10 times 1.5, and we cut the outer threads of the irium coil so that we can tie them inside our awl. That's what after that. After tying inside, we drilled in with a 6.5 drilling bit in that, because it's recommended for us to use a tap of 8 times 125. So that was what was needed for the job. Thank you for watching my videos. Please subscribe, like, share and comment. Don't forget to share to everyone, comment or leave an advice. Thank you very much for watching my videos. See you in the next video.